Good morning, everyone. This is Ona Rana here, your social science teacher from Cambridge International School, Dasua. I welcome you all in today's session. I hope you all are happy, healthy, safe at your home. Dear children, we were discussing about History Chapter 9, Traders, Kings and Pilgrims. We have completed half of the chapter and today we are going to discuss the other half. So let's start our lesson with the lesson's objectives. The lesson's objectives of this lesson are to know about the pilgrims, to know about Nalanda, to understand Bhakti, and to explore Christianity. Lesson's outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to know about the pilgrims. They will also come to know about Nalanda. They will also understand Bhakti and they will also explore Christianity. But before starting today's session, let's recapitulate whatever we have discussed. So we have discussed South India was famous for gold, spices, especially for black pepper and precious stones. Trade is done through the sea routes as well as by land through caravans. Cholas, Sheras and Pandyas became powerful in South India around 2300 years ago. About 200 years later, a dynasty known as Satavahanas became powerful in western India. Then we discussed about the Silk Route. This is the path followed by the Chinese traders to trade silk. We have also discussed about the Theravada Buddhism and Mahayana Buddhism. These were the two forms of Buddhism. We have also discussed about Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas were the followers of Buddha who have attained enlightenment. Now today we are going to start with the pilgrims. Pilgrims are men and women who undertake journeys to holy places in order to offer worship. The Chinese Buddhist pilgrims came to India to visit the places associated with the life of Buddha as well as famous monasteries. They spent time studying in Nalanda. Let's discuss few of them. First one is Faiyan. He came to the subcontinent about 1600 years ago. Xuanzang. He came around 1400 years ago. Then Ai Qing, who came about 15 years after Xuanzang. And each of these pilgrims left an account of their journey. Account of their journey means details of their journey. They wrote the dangers they encountered on their travels and the books they carried back with them. How Faiyan returned to China. Faiyan began his journey back home from Bengal. He boarded a ship belonging to some merchants. After 2 days, they were caught in a storm. The merchants began throwing their things in order to save the ship from sinking. Faiyan threw away his personal belongings but clung to his books and the statues of the Buddha that he had collected. Finally, the storm subsided after 13 days. It took him more than 90 days to reach Java, where he halted for 5 months before boarding another merchant ship that took him to China. So that's all about Faiyan, about his back journey. Next we have here Xuanzang. He took the land route back to China through the northwest and Central Asia, carried back with him statues of Buddha made of gold, silver and sandalwood, and over 600 manuscripts loaded on the backs of 20 horses. Over 50 manuscripts, they were lost when the boat on which he was crossing the Indus capsized. He spent the rest of his life translating the remaining manuscripts from Sanskrit into Chinese. Then we have Nalanda, that is a unique center for Buddhist learning. Nalanda Buddhist monastery is in present day Bihar, as you can see in this image also. Then how they have described about the Nalanda. The teachers are men of the highest ability and talent. They follow the teachings of Buddha in all sincerity. The rules of the monastery were very strict and everyone has to follow them. Discussions are held throughout the day, and the old and the young mutually help one another. Learned men from different cities come here to settle their doubts. The gatekeeper asks new entrants difficult questions. They are allowed to enter only after they have been able to answer these. 7 or 8 out of every 10 are not able to answer. Let me repeat again about Nalanda. Nalanda, as I have discussed, it is one of the famous Buddhist monastery. It is present in Bihar, and how they have described about the teachers and the life there. The teachers, those who were teaching there, they are the men of the highest ability and talent, and they follow the teachings of Buddha in all sincerity. Okay, if one is following each and everything, only then he can guide the other people about that. And the rules of monastery, they are very strict and everyone has to follow them. Discussions are held throughout the day, and the young and the old, they mutually help one another. Learned men from different cities come here to settle their doubts, and even the gatekeeper, he asked the questions from the new entrants, the difficult questions, and they were allowed to enter only after they have been able to answer these. 7 or 8 out of every 10 are not able to answer. It means the gatekeeper, they are also very learned people, and they are going to ask some difficult questions from those people, and if they are able to answer, only then they can enter there. Now the next topic of this chapter, that is bhakti. Bhakti, you might have heard this word, and it comes from the Sanskrit word bhaj. Bhaj means to divide or share. So what is bhakti? Bhakti, it is an intimate two-way relationship between the deity and the devotee. Bhakti is directed towards Bhagavat. Bhagavat means God. And bhakti is generally understood as a person's devotion to his or her chosen deity. The idea of bhakti is present in Bhagavad Gita. In this, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna. Then you can see there is one image on your screen. This is Vishnu as Varaha. It is an image from Iran, Madhya Pradesh. This magnificent statue is of a special form of Vishnu, the Varaha or boar. According to the Puranas, Vishnu took the shape of a boar in order to rescue the earth, which had sunk into water. Here the earth is shown as a woman. Now, next we have Christianity. Christianity, it is religions like that of Buddhism, Jainism, which we have discussed earlier. About 2000 years ago, Christianity emerged in West Asia. And if you people remembered, we have discussed about Christianity in Civics Chapter 1, Understanding Diversity, that it reached India about 2000 years ago. But where it has been emerged? It has been emerged in West Asia. Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, that is in the Roman Empire. He was the savior of the world, and he also taught people to treat others with love and trust. Christ's teachings appealed to ordinary people and spread through West Asia, Africa, and Europe. The first Christian preachers came from West Asia to west coast of the subcontinent within 100 years of Christ's death. The Christians of Kerala, known as the Syrian Christians, because they probably came from West Asia, and these are amongst the oldest Christian communities in the world. So dear children, let's recapitulate whatever we have discussed today. Today we have started our session with the pilgrims. Pilgrims are the men and the women, those who take journey to the holy places. Then we have discussed 3-4 Chinese pilgrims, those who came to India like Faiyang, Xuanzang, Ai Qing. These all came here. These all came and visited the various places which are associated with the life of Buddha, and they have also written down all those records and taken them back with them. Then we have discussed about bhakti. Bhakti means individual devotion towards God or deity. And even in Bhagavad Gita also they have presented this idea of bhakti. Then we have also discussed Vishnu as a Vara avatar. And Christianity, it was in West Asia about 2000 years ago. And Jesus Christ, he was the founder of Christianity. He was born in Bethlehem and he was the savior of the world. The people were very much inspired by his teachings. Even in India also, the Christians of Kerala, they are known as the Syrian Christians because they probably came from West Asia, and these were the one of the oldest Christian communities in the world. Now here we have some of the important dates about which we have discussed in this chapter. First is discovery of silk making, that is about 7000 years ago, and it was discovered in China. The Cholas, Sheras and Pandyas, they emerged in South India about 2300 years ago. The growing demand for silk in the Roman Empire about 2000 years ago. We have also discussed about Kanishka. He was the Kushana rulers about 1900 years ago. We discussed about Faiyan, who comes to India about 1600 years ago. Xuanzang comes to India and he has composes the devotional poems in praise of Shiva about 1400 years ago. Now I have few key words for you people which we have discussed in this chapter. I hope everybody is aware of this. Okay, so first one is Muvendar. Muvendar, we are using these words for the three chiefs like the Cholas, Sheras and Pandyas. Silk route, the route followed by the Chinese trader to trade their silk. Kushanas. Kushanas were the first rulers, those who have issued the gold coins, and they were ruling about 1900 years ago. Kanishka was one of the famous Kushana ruler, and they have also tried to control the silk route. Mahayana Buddhism, it is a new form of Buddhism, and in this they worship Buddha in the form of the images. Theravada Buddhism is the old form of Buddhism, and in it the presence of Buddha is shown with the help of certain symbols and signs. Bodhisattvas were the followers of Buddha, those who have attained enlightenment. Pilgrims are the men and the women, those who undertake journey to the holy places. Bhakti is the individual devotion towards our chosen deity or God. So dear children, that's all about this chapter. I hope I have made myself clear. But still you people have any doubt, then please do the reading of the chapter, watch these videos properly, and then please clear your doubts in the online sessions. Thank you all. Have a nice day.